What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel for another 1/6 scale showcase. This is volume 6 in reviewing my favorite figures, and I gotta tell you, I've been having a lot of fun making these videos. Taking some time to spend with each figure and zoom in on all the details and remember why I got it and why I like that character has been really fun. So I hope it's inspired you to do the same. Take some time, kick back, and appreciate what you got. Now, let's go into another one. But before we get started, if you like my videos, do us a favor, would you? Hit the like button, notification bell, and subscribe to the channel. Now let's get to it. First up, let's take a look at the Hot Toys exclusive brown and tan Wolverine from the montage scene in Deadpool and Wolverine. I gotta say, having this one come out so quick after the yellow and blue suit was a shock, but a pleasant surprise. I love the brown and tan look for Wolverine, and the fact that we got to see Hugh in it was even better. Now, I know this figure has received some backlash from collectors in regard to the head sculpt's expression and the trap and shoulder area not looking accurate to Hugh's proportions in the film, which we'll definitely take a look at. But for me, even with all of that, I still really like this figure, and I don't see the issues being so bad now that I have him in hand. One thing I love and also worry about is the medical grade silicone arms he has. I think they look amazing, but I do worry about excessive posing and what damage may occur, especially if you leave the arms bent for a long period of time. It's hard to know, and I guess each of us need to decide which is more important to us. I get torn between both. I want to keep him pristine because, well, they aren't cheap and I like to know things aren't damaged. But I also want to have more fun with posing him and doing photography to see what I can capture, especially because this figure has a feature and pose to it was designed to be displayed with, which I'll touch on shortly to show you how I'll probably be displaying him on the shelf. First up, let's zoom in for a closer look at the somewhat controversial head sculpt and expression this guy has. For the purpose of delving into capturing Hugh in this, I'm going to show you 3 different looks. One with the eyes looking forward, then to the right, and lastly to the left. This one here being head tilted down and eyes up, looking straight forward. This is my preference, and I personally think it captures him and brings out the expression it was intended for best. Overall, the sculpt details are great. The colour, skin texture, wrinkles, hair, it all looks really well done to me, and posed like this, the expression works with this distinct look. I understand this is probably not ideal for most, but from a creative perspective I can understand why Hot Toys tried something different given they are making multiple different Wolverine figures right now. As I'm collecting them all, I don't mind having specific looks. It adds variety, and like this, I see him in it. Then, by having him looking to the right, I messed around with the head position a few times. Moving the head around when you have an eye position locked in is a good way to find the spot that looks the best for you. I don't mind it like this either. I see him. Not as strong as the eyes forward and head tilted down, but I still see him. Then we have him looking over to the left, and I gotta say, I also think this works too. I tried to capture him from all angles. Below looking up, looking front on, looking down a little bit, looking from the middle, looking from the left and right. It all seemed to work alright for me. More so when you tilt the head down though. But at the end of the day, it's in the eye of the beholder. You may not see what I'm seeing and vice versa. It's up to each of us. I personally like it, and I'll be displaying it in the way it's intended. Okay, now we move on to the way this guy should be displayed, and that's focusing on using the special Wolverine claws that come with the reflection of Hulk in them, to recreate that moment from the film, which to be fair, is pretty iconic. I won't be posing his body in a bent over crouched position, I don't think, like he was in the movie, but I am going to display him with the claws up, which means bending the arm permanently. Again, that's a worry, but if ever I was going to leave a figure in a pose, it will be this one, I think. This figure was designed to make use of the claws and the expression like that, so I'm going to give it a go. And I gotta say, like this, I love looking at it now. This is how he's going to be on the shelf, or a version of this at least. I may do something with the other arm as well. A really fun, clever idea by Hot Toys. Regardless of all the hate, I'm here for something different and I'm happy I picked him up. Okay, now after extensively looking at the Hugh Jackman head sculpt, let's take a look at the mask sculpt on this guy. Because damn, like this, he looks pretty damn cool if you ask me. I like this look so much as well that's why I got a second copy of this guy, so I can have one masked and one with the Hugh sculpt, and then use the other Hugh sculpt I have on another figure that I might kitbash to make another Wolverine. I know, it's crazy, but this is what I do. So, taking a closer look at the mask it comes with, it has two switch out faceplates. This one here is actually my preferred one over the more growling version. The design of this mask is really nice too. It's different to the yellow and blue, and I'm pretty sure it matches the concept art from the film. I see Hugh here. It would have been cool to see him with this mask on in the film as well. Then here's the second mouth plate, the angry one. I could have seen this be more angry, I think, or just a little better. I don't know. I don't think it's quite as angry as I would like it to be. However, in saying that, it does the job for a pose you can see in a minute that I did with him and Hulk. Now, before we move on, after playing around with this guy for a while, I decided to try modding one version to see if I could bulk up the traps and extend the neck a bit to make his proportions look more similar to how he looked in the film. Because in the film, his traps work down to the shoulders really nicely, whereas on the figure, the shoulder plates are way too bulky and they sit too high, making the traps feel flat. Then by the shoulders sitting higher, the traps, it just doesn't look accurate to me, it doesn't look right. So here's my attempt. I put some cotton in down between the material of the traps and the figure body. It's not a huge difference, but if you look closely here, you can see a difference between the two figures. It works for me and it works if you want to do it. It's pretty easy. Just be careful when you're poking the material in under the traps because you don't want to poke through the suit. I see a difference. Let me know what you guys think. I think this mod helps make the figure's proportions look a bit better. And let me know if any of you guys are going to try this if you have this guy. I'd be interested to know. Okay, I had to try an iconic pose to recreate the battle between Hulk and Logan from the comics. So here they are standing side by side to give you a look at the scale between the two figures. Hulk does look nice and big compared to Wolverine, and I do like that. And then here we are with Wolverine versus Hulk, trying to recreate that classic moment captured in drawings and statues of them battling. I'll bring in the flight poles now and stand so you can see where they are for how I set up the scene. And then I'll edit them back out again because, as I've said many times before, when I photograph and create scenes, I like to edit out the stands because they break the illusion for me. If I wasn't such a sook with potentially damaging the figures too, I would consider leaving these two displayed like this. But another problem I have is space in the collection, and something like this takes up a ton of space. It really is a problem all of us collectors face, having the space to create scenes like this and then the balls to leave them in it for a long time. Either way, I had fun doing it and shooting this. At least I have those memories to look back on. Next up, while I had him out, I thought let's take a look at the Avengers Age of Ultron Hulk, gifted to me by my good friend Anthony from the Figure Posing channel, which should also be recoined as the Figure Posing Shop too. Thank you for the great hookup, mate. This guy is awesome. Shout out to you guys. Go and subscribe to Anthony's page, his YouTube page now. Do it. This guy is an absolute beast of a figure. Massive in fact. He also poses really, really well. I like the skin color and the details when you get in close on this guy. I know a lot of people like the original one better, but for me, I'm happy with this one. The battle between Hulk and Hulkbuster is one of my favorite moments of Hulk in this cinematic universe, so I'm not bothered by this look at all. In fact, I like the trousers because they cover the knee joints. It's one less eyesore on a figure like this. Taking a closer look at this head sculpt, and I really rate this job they did with it. From the skin color, to the expression, the veins, the hair and eyes, Hot Toys did a great job in my book. even for back then. And I love that because the head is bigger, they gave us posable eyes too. That's really good, that helps. Even the neck and traps with the veins and muscle striations look great. Really well done. Now, I don't have the second sculpt that comes with another version of this guy, which I think is a less angry look for him, but to be fair, I'm happy with this one. It works for pretty much every scenario with Hulk. I wonder if and when they do another Hulk, what type of body and skin improvements they will make, if any. Looking forward to seeing what they come up with and how it can top this. Next up, we have the newly released Artisan version Black Widow from Iron Man 2. And I have to say, this is easily the best looking Black Widow figure I've personally seen. I do have the endgame version, which I also really rate highly. But this version, when it comes to the likeness of Scarlett Johansson, this is a home run for me. In the short time I've had her, I think this is an overall great release. The hair is really cool and I'm happy with how they pulled it off. The base being the white floor from her main fight scene in the film and also being magnetic, very cool. Then the detail of the suit and the body proportions, I feel they finally figured out how to do Scarlett. I think this is the best female figure I've seen. It's very promising for future Black Widow releases, especially if they make an Avengers 1 2.0. Okay, let's take a closer look at this amazing sculpt and artisan styled hair, which I also feel is some of the best rooted hair I've seen on a figure myself. Keeping in mind I haven't seen many rooted hair figures, but I mean, come on, I feel like they really did a good job with this. And maybe the curls or the length of the hair that was easier to do, but I don't get the doll hair feeling like I do with the Golden Armor Wonder Woman or Gamora figures I have. I'm interested to know what you guys think, but I feel they captured her features much better on this version, like her cheeks, lips, nose and eyes. I think the eyes really remind me of her. Super happy to have this in the collection. Scarlett is an OG Avenger and this figure sits perfectly in my Iron Man 2 display. Okay, here we have her posed up with my Kitbashed Tony Stark from the start of the film at the Stark Expo, and my Kitbashed Rhodey with his flight suit he wears throughout the film. I do like how these guys look together, but then we have her posed up with the Iron Man and War Machine, which I think works even better. It's taken a while to finally have all three together, but this is awesome, and I can't wait to show you all my new Iron Man 2 display in my upcoming collection tour. Moving on to my newly acquired War Machine Mark 1 2.0, first seen in Iron Man 2. This is hands down my preferred look for Rhodey in a War Machine suit. When it comes to the look, I love the grey and gunmetal colour scheme, along with the red eyes. That's sick. Then when it comes to the body, what I love about this guy is the chunky, thick look he has. There's so much going on, so many panels, plates and gadgets all over him. He's heavy, and I love it. It's just the perfect look, I feel. This is peak War Machine. Let's now take a look at the weapons this guy has built in, starting with the massive machine gun he has over one shoulder. This weapon looks awesome and definitely gives him badass vibes. And then we have the rocket launcher that pops out of his right trap area. Luckily the machine gun can switch sides so you can have both sides weaponized, and I love that. Then if you look closely, you'll also see the ex-wife popping out of the left trap, which I think we can all agree is the best weapon feature this guy has. Looking at the backside, you can see the machine guns on the forearms too, which also pop out to pose with. And then starting here on the back, I have all the battle damage pieces on this guy because I prefer that look. All the scratching on the back and then round to the front to all the battle damage, man. I would have loved more battle damage on this guy even, because he did get messed up in that fight at the end. Next, I thought I'd throw him together with the glorious Mark 6 for an action pose to try and capture the teamwork they displayed in that final fight against Whiplash. Both figures, with all of their battle damage pieces on, fighting side by side, look amazing and takes me right back to that moment in the film. So much so I ended up rewatching Iron Man 2 again for the millionth time when I was shooting these guys. Then I thought, let's have him posed up with my Kitbashed Rhodey, which I'll touch on with all the details in just a second. This War Machine in this pose I have him in, giving the salute like he does in the film. This is probably how I'm going to have him displayed on the shelf. I think it showcases the figure really well. Then lastly, here's the sculpt on the figure that shows the Don Cheadle faceplate inside the helmet. I have it on there in case I want to display it like this, but at the minute I actually like the helmet on with all the battle damage. You'll see it all together when you see my Iron Man 2 display in the collection tour. Okay guys, let's take a look at my Kitbashed Rhodey I've been working on. At the beginning of the filming of this figure I didn't have the patches for the flight suit that is accurate to the film. But after filming I got the patches in, so you'll see them on the figure in a minute, but you won't see them on some of the shots because I didn't have them when I originally shot it. The kit bash consists of the Iron Patriot Rhodey head sculpt, a black skin tone muscle body, I'm not sure the name of the company that made it unfortunately, a men's Nomex flight suit from Monkey Depot and a black 1/6 shirt underneath. Then we have men's Z6's military boots, which I got from Monkey Depot, and I have him holding the second helmet that comes with the War Machine Mark 1 2.0. Taking a look at the head sculpt, this one comes with the Iron Patriot sculpt, and I'm here for it. I really wish this had movable eyes because I feel like the likeness is pretty damn good to Don Cheadle. I see him here. It's just an older match because it's his look from Endgame, but I don't care. I'm using it just to represent him in general. All the details are great, and like I said, I'm really happy with it. I just wish he had posable eyes. It would really bring him to life. Okay, so here's the patches that I got from Bad Mother Tattoos and Customs on eBay, which I've now put on the flight suit to the best of my knowledge of how it was in the film. I really think these elevate the look of the figure because the flight suit without them looks a little plain and all one colour, but with the patches it adds a bit more realism and a burst of colour to bring the figure alive. What do you guys think? Let me know. And finally, here's the Kitbashed Rhodey with the War Machine Mark 1 2.0 and the Iron Patriot from Endgame, along with Rocket to boot, for a quick little look at all my Rhodey related figures. Okay, so to keep the flow going, let's now take a look at the Iron Patriot and Rocket Raccoon from Avengers Endgame, one of my favourite films of all time. Starting with the Iron Patriot first, this figure is even bigger and heavier than the War Machine Mark 1. It's actually huge, with so many moving parts and intricacies to the armor. You really can spend a lot of time just admiring and looking at all the different details of this figure. So many weapons. Too many weapons almost. My only kind of gripe is the color scheme. I do like it, I do. But if I had to choose between this and the Mark 1, I think I'd choose the Mark 1 because of the grey and gunmetal. This guy has a little more Transformers-like with his colours. Then we have Rocket Raccoon sitting up top, balancing on his shoulders and hanging from his enormous rocket launchers and cannons. I've chosen to pair Rocket up with him because that scene in Endgame of the two of them fighting together, it's awesome. But also, I didn't really have anywhere else to put Rocket, so it made more sense to have him with Iron Patriot representing this moment from the film when it's displayed on the Endgame shelf. Now, he's a small figure, but a fun one. It's cool to have him because he really is a great character, and by the time Guardians 3 finishes, you see he really did have a good run in the MCU. Next up, we have the Hot Toys Black Panther and Killmonger posed up together with a Black Panther statue I got from Suggo Toys. The Black Panther is the original suit release, FYI. Starting with Black Panther first, rest in peace Chadwick Boseman. He did a great job bringing T'Challa to life. It's a great figure too. I like the updated body proportions and suit texture. I didn't have the original, but looking at the pictures, this one looks well advanced compared to that one. He articulates really well too and can hit some great poses if you dare. I do have a video on both these guys called Black Panther on the shelf if you want to check out some fun poses I did with both of them. Taking a closer look at the portrait, as I've decided to display him with the head sculpt on and have him holding his helmet. I will say it's okay. It's pretty good. It's not the greatest likeness to Chadwick in my opinion though. I've seen some customs that I think captured him more, but this is all I got. I see parts of him in there, I do, enough to keep it on to pay tribute to him as Black Panther, I think. I think posable eyes would help bring this sculpt alive way more. It's a shame they weren't doing this when they made him. Moving on to Eric Killmonger next, played by Michael B. Jordan. Great casting. And Lani and I have been both fans of him and love his performance as Eric. We've been fans of him since Friday Night Lights days. I've been told that this guy is in fact Lani's figure and not mine. That's how much she likes him. Whether it's accurate or not, this figure is jacked to the gills. The body they are using is fantastic. His legs even drop down like an Iron Man to allow for better posing. I wish more figures did that. The suit itself is awesome too. There's so many patterns and details all over it. It's a very cool looking figure. Zooming in on this head sculpt of Michael B. Jordan, aka Eric Killmonger, for a closer look, and I'm super impressed with Hot Toys' attempt here. I feel like the likeness to Michael B. Jordan is really spot on. I see him from every angle. The paintwork is great, the eyes remind me of him, and the expression brings this sculpt to life. I only imagine how good they could do it now with rolling eyes. I don't think we'll see this figure again though, so I'm really impressed that Hot Toys nailed it on one go. Out of the two sculpts, this is definitely stronger than T'Challa's in regard to actor likeness. Some may say Grail. Okay guys, now to round out the video, we have Arnie himself, the T-800 Terminator 2.0 by Hot Toys. I literally only just got this guy in as I was wrapping up this video, so I decided to take some shots to begin with and look at the figure to give you guys a sneak peek of a future showcase I might do on him. This is the first Terminator figure I've had, so I don't have anything to compare it to, but what I can tell, he's really well made. He's heavy, he feels of quality, the leather is really nice. I gotta make sure I learn to look after it and get whatever spray or wipe you need to put on it because I want to look after it. As a big fan of Arnold, it's great to have a version of him in the collection. I've read all his books and I've watched all his movies. I find him a really interesting guy, so to have a representation in the collection is awesome. Then when we look at the head sculpt, I'm really happy with this too. I see his likeness. It's fun moving the eyes around and changing the direction that you view the face to see how you can capture him. And to finish up, this is probably how I'm going to have him posed up on the shelf. Now, he comes with a lot of options, but I love the shotgun with the sun is on look. Nice and simple. Looking at him like this takes me back to the movie. Just his presence alone is enough for me. That's what I love about these figures. They can take you back to the characters, the movies, the stories that we love, especially when they're done well like this. It's such a great thing to have to honor the stories that we all cherish. And that's it guys and girls. I hope you've enjoyed this video and maybe got some inspiration for your own displays. Stay tuned, the collection tour is coming very soon, I promise. I thank you all for tuning in, and if you haven't already done so, do us a favor, hit the like button, notification bell and subscribe to the channel. But for now, until next time guys, I'm out.